Look at the weight. I love this. Infilled brass weight on this guy. We're doing a really cute board today, okay? It is a board based off of Shiba, but this is done by Toro and it's based off their Shiba. The Shiba's name is also Toro. It's a really fun looking keyboard. It's a traditional top mount. It actually, I didn't know the pricing until the other day, but the pricing on the board is pretty damn good too. And I had a weird feeling this was going to be rather expensive. I believe there's two prices, and the pricing is $250 for the brass and $270 for the copper. I kind of want to waste no time and just show you guys. There's also a bunch of colors. It comes with this really cute case. I think this is also pretty awesome. By the way, this is a sponsored stream today. Not going to affect me criticizing the board at all, as you guys normally know how I operate. Let's take a look at the board. They sent us two different versions of this. They sent us a yellow one and a polycarbonate one to take a look at. Oh, this is actually a really cute colorway. I can't say I've ever seen a board like this. That is really pretty. There's some very pretty colors for this, by the way. The isolated spacebar is also a really nice touch, by the way. We've seen that in, I think I've only really seen that in the Nesson boards. Really, really cute. The silver is really nice for this too. I think this might be the best color. There's a lot of colors we can show you guys here in a bit too. What do you guys think? Cute or nah? Look at the weight. I love this. Infilled brass weight on this guy. Price point good. Look at this. I love the side profile and just the shape of this too. I don't know if it's portraying well on stream. Look at the rounded sides on this too. That is super nice looking. I'm surprised at the price point, quite frankly. By the way, the front height on this is really good too. I think there actually is two conflicting front heights on the IC, by the way, to Toro Studios. One of your measurements says 16, I think in the description, but I think the actual one is 17.75, which is pretty nice. The polycarb's nice too. This is pretty. Definitely a difference in weight here too, which is pretty drastic. This is a prototype, so there's a little bit of a scuff on the polycarb, I believe, on the bottom. Yeah, there's some scuffage happening here, but yeah, the PC one is really, really nice. Other than that one little scuff, the PC quality looks great on this. Extremely pretty. Obviously, we have some fixed aspects about the board, but you can even see this is one of their other layouts where they have a blocker put over here instead of having like an HHKB style, which is also pretty fun. So I like the options. The vendor list is pretty big for this too. Not that I get sketched out, but I just get a little bit concerned when I don't see a lot of vendors, but it seems like a lot of people are really interested in this project, which is awesome. Here, so we have silver, or I guess this is E-white. Is this E-white? I guess so. It looks silver to me. Maybe it's the plate throwing me off. We have E-coated cream, which is also really pretty. This is a spray coat tan. We have anodized black, silver, which silver looks good. PC. The red is really nice for this, by the way. Like, that is pretty bold. If the red really looks like this, like, that is crazy. And there's also going to be Sakura, which is an anodized pink. Taro. That is a very, very purple. Like, that is extremely purple. They have some artisan add-ons, which, you know what? Not for nothing. I haven't seen a project, keyboard-wise, with some, like, good artisans in a long time. So that's cool to see that we got some artisans over here. And then the desk pads. The desk pads are cool. My only criticism, Toro, for the desk pads is I think your logo is a little too big on these. See how this has like a little inset over here? I would maybe just put Toro on like a little badge on the side. So it's not just, you know, on the bottom right. Because I do think it's a little bit too in your face. But these desk pads are super, super cute. That is pretty. Even this one here is really fun. And then for vendors, we have, for Oceania, Toro. For Canada, Mechland, which is awesome. Click Clack is going to be doing this one. Singapore, which is K-Tech. K-Tech, I've had some really nice conversations with. These seem like awesome people. Prototypist for UK. I swear Jay just takes like every project. He is a goat for that. Nux Rocks for Vietnam. China is Nega Kezawa. Malaysia is getting Mecca. Max Gaming for Scandinavia. Like, dude, look how many vendors they have. And they put ... like there's going to be more, which is crazy. And then this will start February 15th to March 15th. And it looks like tentative delivery time is, Q3-ish is fine, varying depending on when vendors are. Pricing, here we go for pricing over here. Brass $250, copper $270, like we mentioned. The artisans are $35 each, which is, I'd say, pretty fair. And then they have some different plates. And I believe they put in a little I got confused by this, but in the note, they said you can use this as a force brake, which is interesting. So we'll just leave this to the side for now. I don't know if we have to use it. It did say it was optional. Now, obviously, we have a bit more of a fixed layout for the bottom row. It is what it is. I can't really criticize it here because it has an exploded spacebar, and there's not much you can really do. As for a PCB goes, hot swap, looks like we have the standard fare of options here, which is great to see. The solderable version does support ISO. It's a 1.6 millimeter here, so we do have some LEDs for a caps lock indicator here, which is good. Very, very, very nice. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have anything out of the norm here. Some, bottom LEDs too for the Polycarb version. I'm guessing this is palm. I'm assuming so. Then we have, I'm assuming this is polycarbonate. We're gonna be using cherry nixies. So do you guys want aluminum, which is like gonna be your traditional top mount? Do you guys want a plastic plate today? I think either way we'll be in a good spot. I don't know if Toro wants us to use something. Maybe they have like a preference. Maybe they know something we don't. So we got the studio name on the inside over here, and just so we can see some of the internal structuring, this is where the daughter board's gonna go, a little bit of a cable channel, and then we have the weight. You can see the pause from the opposite side over here, which is kind of cute, but it's a through weight for the board. In a lot of ways, one of my preferences. If you're not gonna go with like the stepped internals, I kind of like this a little bit more. I think even having the studio name be embedded over here on the weight should actually help a little bit too with some sound breaking up a little bit. O-ring included can be cut into pieces and installed in the cut out on the edges. Oh, interesting. Okay, we're gonna try the O-ring thing here in a bit, but let's just try what it sounds like first without anything. They did say it's an optional thing to do. This is a hidden screw design, just as a little note here, although it didn't need any clipping of anything for the switches, which was nice. Actually, this is a really good call. I like this set a lot on this particular color. That does look good. It's a little different, and I kind of appreciate it. I love this pastel. This turned out really nice. So again, optionally, we could go in and install those O-rings, which we might. We'll see how it sounds. This is the aluminum version. This is the brass weight on the back. Love this. The infill looks really nice too. When it comes down to like a side profile, it almost has like the boop, if you guys remember that board, like the rounded sides over here. So you can see a bit of a graduation of color here. Pretty simple design on the side. Really, really pretty. They are fixing this. They are receding back the USB-C a little bit so it won't protrude outwards. Pretty unique little layout. Again, we don't really see a whole lot of these exploded or isolated space bars. And this is a top mount done with a palm plate with nixies and GMK. Oh, this is gonna sound really good already. This is really nice. Yeah, I'll try a regular Nixie. I actually did take one out because I already know the dyed Nixies are a little bit lighter in sound signature. So let me quickly swap it for you guys. I actually like the dyed Nixie in here. For me, this is a good little mix of sound. I am very pleasantly surprised with this keyboard. See? Dude, at 250 bucks for such a unique little board, this is nice. It's just a regular Nixie, not the dyed ones. For whatever reason, the dyed ones are a little deeper in sound signature for whatever reason. It's not super noticeable on the alphas, but it's pretty noticeable on modifiers. Very nice. I do want to cut up one of those O-rings, and I still want to try that though. I want to see what that actually ends up doing. I like this. I like this a lot. This is a fun board. Good on Toro Studios for making this. So am I doing it on all these? I assume all of them. There's no little diagram, but I guess we're doing all of these here. That's an O-ring cord that we're just cutting up. They said it's an optional implementation as a force brake. I don't think we actually need it in the board, but I was just super curious to see what it sounded like with and without. I mean, do you guys notice a difference? I don't think I noticed a difference. Maybe in the rare case that you need to use the O-ring as like a little force brake. No, I don't hear a difference. No. Okay, well, I mean, it's nice that it's there in case you do need it. But yeah, I don't really hear much at all for a difference here. Oh, okay, perfect. Look at that. We got threaded inserts on the bottom here, which is lovely. Thank you very much. Now let's see if we have them also on the top. Equally as important here too, because this is a part that we're gonna have to unscrew. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like we have threaded inserts. That's a fun layout, dude. This set with the Polycarb case is really nice. So this is the $270 version because it's using a copper weight. The Polycarb version does have a little bit of a nicer sound profile. Ooh, that is nice. That is nice with the Polycarb version. All right, has some RGB on it. Kind of fun. Is it the best RGB in the world? No. It's, I mean, there's not many LEDs here on the back. I'd say this is enough to satisfy a regular schmegular person who likes RGB but doesn't care for it too much, like myself. Like, I don't need the best of RGB for my boards because I'm not an RGB fanatic, but I think this would be nice. If you're more into RGB and you're an RGB enthusiast, then maybe not. Maybe you want more LEDs in the back, but it is nice. It's decently diffused. It's a little bit more subtle. So fun, very fun. I like the board. The bottom row blockers, yeah, they're fun. It's a little bit of a different take on a board. I think, again, the selling points here, not only is it, you know, it's a cutesy look on the back and they have some really nice colors for their coated and anode versions. I think the weight is really fun. I think the overall shape of the board is kind of unique too. But I think the isolated spacebar and even the two different options you get for the top frames over here are definitely pretty damn unique. You don't really see this too often. And the few things I saw with the board that I would say are objectively need to be worked on, like the USB-C key. Actually, this one here is not as bad. I don't know if this is like an updated version of the Polycarb one here, but see how it's not protruding outwards? But fun, very, very fun. I like the board a lot. Good on Toro Studios for, I think they nailed this, man. See you guys, bye-bye, and love ya.